Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
This time on Broad and High, we visit a local museum which hopes to gain national prominence with an exciting new location. See what goes into preserving centuries-old prints with the Columbus Museum of Art, and an Italian glass-blowing artist demonstrates his talent. This and more right now on Broad and High. Welcome to Broad and High. I'm your host, Kate Quickle. The Jubilee Museum was founded in 1998 with a collection of numerous artifacts of religious life. A leaky roof, as well as the need to restructure and do inventory, closed the Franklinton location in 2019. Now in its new location, the museum is accessible and has temperature-controlled rooms to preserve its art and artifacts. Let's take a tour of this amazing collection.
The Jubilee Museum is the largest Catholic museum in the United States recognized by Rome. And it didn't start that way. It started in 1999 by a local priest who just started taking some things from local churches and setting up a few museum rooms basically in this old Holy Family High School. And it kind of grew. The word caught on and stuff started coming in from people's basements and from closed churches. And then stuff started coming in from the Holy Land and all over the world. So we have some amazing, amazing pieces here. Since I became the director many years ago, I've been working towards making this place a national museum. Again, we've already been recognized by the Vatican as the largest diversified collection of Catholic art in the country, and it's going to keep growing. We're in line to get several large collections. A wonderful benefactor of ours wants to give us his manuscript collection in the future, which has about 4,000 pieces and it's worth about $10 million. So we're talking ancient crosses, Bibles and leaflets going back to 800 AD and stuff. So some amazing pieces coming here. And again, we cannot take pieces like that in our current building. We can't show temperature control, moisture control, and those are pieces that absolutely have to have that kind of environment. We have been very graciously invited to move into the Catholic Foundation. Everybody kind of knows that building across from the cathedral is the first Wendy's here in Columbus. But our Catholic Foundation, they're using mainly the entire upper floor. So they invited us to come use the first floor of their building. It's pretty large space, not as much space as we have currently, but we'll be able to make it a museum environment. You really don't want to wear gloves because the gloves can actually catch onto the pieces and actually rip it off. Problem, it's not a problem, it's a good thing, but with Christianity goes back 2,000 years. So some of our coins and stuff that are from the time of Christ compared to the statue was carved 200 years ago, it makes it difficult to decide what are we going to keep or what are we going to display or take. Well, welcome to our new space here at the Catholic Foundation building. So right now we're unboxing all of our artifacts. It took us about 2 years to properly wrap the artifacts, pack them, and store them for the move. The new location does have really good temperature control and humidification control, which was something we did not have in our old location. And that is something that is extremely important when you're working with textiles, manuscripts, and oil paintings. It's just fun getting these pieces back out, and it's exciting to see them again and get ready to open to the public to show them. Welcome everybody for the first time to the Museum of Catholic Art and History. When the Board of Trustees started working with the Catholic Foundation here, we decided it's time for a new name, a new space, and a whole new situation. We came up with the Museum of Catholic Art and History. The word Catholic actually means universal, so it's a place for everybody. Most of our visitors here are not Catholic. The reason we have all this art, especially in the Catholic Church, is going back to a time before we had education like we have today. Most people didn't even have books. You couldn't read the Bible at home. You were hearing the Bible verses at church. But when you walked into a church and you saw beautiful oil paintings depicting, Jesus, with the children, or a stained glass window of the Nativity, you could see that image and be like, wow, I understand this. These things were helping you pray, helping you meditate, helping your imagination work so you could put yourself literally back in time to what it would have been like, during the time of Jesus or whatever these images are depicting. And again, this is art. This is another form of expression that touches people in different ways.
To learn more about hours and events, visit catholicmuseum.org. Printmaking is one of the oldest art forms. Works of some of the most influential printmakers in the world exist right here in Columbus and are among a collection of old masters' prints that the Columbus Museum of Art has selected for conservation. From alkaline water baths to the removal of old mucky adhesives, we learned about the techniques necessary to preserve the quality and appearance of these fragile works of art.
We are in Gallery 5, and we are surrounded by 24 of the Old Master prints that were conserved as part of our grant from Bank of America. I mean, you come to museums and you see everything looks wonderful and the works of art all seem, in wonderful shape, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of resources to sustain your collection, to make sure your collection, the works that you're caring for generations, are in the optimal shape they can be in. And we had this fantastic Old Master collection of prints, Old Master prints. And there were quite a number of these prints that we could never put on exhibition. We could never share them with the public. And so this grant allowed us to look at 50 prints from that collection and conserve them and get them in shape so they could be shared with the public. Usually when you talk about Old Master prints, you're really talking about Renaissance and Baroque. So you're talking about sort of 15th through 18th century prints.
We are looking at the Albrecht Dürer Melancholia, and you see on the screen a photograph of the before treatment image. Prints from Dürer's period of 1600s would normally not show this degree of discoloration unless some outside influence had caused advanced acid degradation. Other problems are less obvious to the untrained eye, and they have more to do with ongoing acid degradation of the paper, the cellulose fibers. And that can cause embrittlement to the paper and discoloration, which is visually disfiguring to the works and makes them unsuitable for exhibition. It also, more importantly, it can significantly decrease their lifespan if those acids are not neutralized and removed from the paper. Now, what we saw on the computer screen was the before treatment condition, and this is the Dürer print after treatment. And you see that the extent of reduction in discoloration is considerable.
Many of these works have never been exhibited at the museum because they weren't, in the condition to be able to be shared. So this is a very exciting moment for us.
The term conservation was applied to represent two distinctly different approaches to artworks. One is restoration, and one is preservation. The goal of restoration is mainly appearance. The goal of preservation is making something last longer. So we draw a little from each of those, a little bit from restoration, a little bit from the goal of preservation, and that mix is what modern conservation is about.
Paper, it's very interesting. It's actually a great pleasure to work on older pieces. Oftentimes, the older they are, the better quality materials that were used, and they actually hold up better over time.
Paper has to have a cellulose source, and it can be wood. In the past, it was more commonly cotton and linen. We call these older papers rag papers because they were literally ground out of used rags. That produced a very high quality paper. It was almost pure cellulose.
So old master prints can be treated and come back to almost what they would have originally looked like, to these beautiful 100% cotton, cream-colored rag papers.
Moved to the 19th century, that source of rags disappeared. And so they began to use wood.
Just like your newsprint turns dark brown when you leave it sitting on your table, well, that's what happens to artworks that have wood pulp paper and fibers in the paper.
You can actually give works on paper, because the museum has a very extensive work on paper collection. You can give them baths. I mean, I could never imagine you could take a piece of, and submerge it in an alkaline bath, but you can.
We're now in the alkaline pH range between, it's approximately 8.5. It's interesting, the use of ultraviolet light in washing is a very interesting thing, because one of the things that damages paper the most is being exposed to too much light. But when we wash in alkaline water baths and we expose these papers underwater to ultraviolet light, it has the opposite effect. We do try to glean as much information as possible prior to treatment so that we know what we might come up against. In the case of the Van de Velde prints of the Four Seasons, 3 of the prints were noticeably more degraded than the 4th. And what we discovered under the microscope is that the fiber content of 3 of those prints is different from the 4th. But we did have to treat the 3 that we discovered under binocular microscope were of mixed fiber content, containing some straw that gave it an overall darker brown tone and also caused it to degrade more rapidly. So we treated those separately from the 4th print, which was done on 100% cotton rag fiber paper. All of the prints came in with various old paper tapes, animal glue adhesive on the reverse. These are all common, and we try to remove those because they do eventually cause localized acid discoloration.
We are in the storage room at the Columbus Museum of Art. These are the prints that we need to rehouse.
This is an Albrecht Dürer, so it probably was made around 1503, 1518, so quite old. You can see that the various stages of acid burn happening. So this is Jane Austen era. This is social commentary of the era, so 1808 social commentary. So the condition is, it's got the good quality rag paper. It has some local stains, but it is stable as long as we get it out of its current slightly acidic mat. No conservation treatment to reduce adhesive stains is recommended because it would require wetting the paper so much that it might do more harm than good. They suggested not even trying to remove this, the leftover glue here for the same reason. You don't want this one to get too wet, you're going to lose the value of the hand coloring. So this really just needs to be put into the better mat. So it's a good candidate for rehousing.
Our goal really is to preserve these for the future. And if we don't step in and slow ongoing age-related degradation, their lifespan will be shortened.
This really makes a difference. It makes an entire part of the collection open to our visitors that wasn't available before.
For the most up-to-date information about what's currently on display at the museum, visit columbusmuseum.org. Glass blowing is a forming technique which was invented by Syrian craftsmen in the 1st century BC. By the Middle Ages, Venice had become a major center of glassmaking. Davide Salvadore is an 11th generation glassmaker from a family that's been creating glass pieces since the 1700s. He came to Columbus to demonstrate his technique, and we were there to check it out.
I started to work at the glass when I was 10. It was a consequence because all my family is glass blower. I tried to make different job, but in the end, the glass called me. The glass blower from Murano, when we talk about the glass, we said him, because for us he's an entity, you know? Every day you have a new challenge. Yeah, because the glass have a big, big memory. If you make something wrong, he remember. In the end, you can find the problem in the piece. And I like the challenge.
What makes Davide Salvadore so special is the technique that he uses in creating his works. They're beautifully patterned. He spends weeks just pulling what they call canes and rods of glass to form what is called marinis, that are thousands of pieces of glass all combined together to make beautiful patterns. And then when he blows his actual sculptural piece, he's able to incorporate these marinis into the work to create the final sculpture.
I like this technique, the Murina and the cane, because it's an infinity technique. It's not just take the glass and blow. It's a composition. It's like a pint, the glass.
Davide's work is not only technically incredible, but it's the passion that he puts into his work. He was influenced at a young age. At 12, he began making beads, doing lamp-worked patterned beads for his mother, who was an artist, and this influenced the rest of his life. He was inspired by the African culture, fabrics, this landscape, sunsets, and the color, and that has influenced his work from ever after that. Even in his musical instrument pieces, you'll still find reference to the beads that he made, beginning at 12 years old for his mother.
When I start to work the glass, like everybody, I start in the factory. And I said, I like to work the glass, but I don't like the factory. And for that, I start very early to open my studio. And there, because it's my studio, I can to try a new technique, a new vision about the glass. Of course, I use the old Venetian technique, but in my way. I have my space in the glass. I can say something with the glass. Yeah, and for that, I love the glass.
The current exhibition of Davide Salvadore's work is in the Sherry Gallery in the Short North. I have been representing glass artists for 33 years and very proud to represent Davide because he is one of the best glass blowers in the world. On exhibit are also his son's works. His sons have followed in his footsteps. They are a 6th generation family of glass blowers. Davide is very proud of the son's works as well because they have really, as he says, freed up glass, making it spontaneous and contemporary.
I never push my son to work at the glass, to work with me. Never. Maybe the glass called him, like me. Yeah. I think in Murano, we have the blood on the body, but I think it's mixed with a little bit glass.
Davide Salvadori and Mattias Salvadori produced a glass blowing demonstration for us yesterday at Glass Axis. We're so fortunate to have Glass Axis allowing artists to work and for all of us to have a treat and to see Maestro Davide Salvadori in action. One of the things that made it really special is this is the third time that Davide has come to Columbus. The first 2 times he did week-long workshops with the students at CCAD. And now, 10 years later, here they are assisting Davide in the workshop that we saw at Glass Axis.
I started many years ago to go around the world for teaching, for show. And now I like that because for me it's energy, new energy. For example, yesterday I had a demo in Glass Axis with a young guy, and they helped me. And this for me is new energy. It's because I feel their passion, you know? And this is wonderful. And for that I go around the world everywhere if I can.
To learn more about Davide and his work, or if you are fortunate enough to be planning a trip to Italy, check out his website at davidesalvadori.com. And to see what's currently on display at the Sherry Gallery, visit sherrygallery.com. Well, that's our show. Remember, you can find all of our stories online at wosu.org as well as on our YouTube channel. For all of us here at WOSU, I'm Kate Quickle. Thanks for watching.
I spent, I'd say about 5 years maybe, doing pointillism. So I was using alcohol ink pens on clayboard. I saw other people doing alcohol ink paintings, and so I learned that you could like buy the refills or buy inks separately and not use the pens, but just like slosh the inks on whatever substrate. And then I saw a video of somebody lighting their alcohol inks on fire, and they were working on tile, so I tried it on clayboard, and I like it even better on clayboard because the clayboard blisters up and it gives you texture, which the tile didn't do. And when the alcohol burns off, it goes out. It doesn't burn for very long. So I've never had a board go out of control. I've never had to use my fire extinguisher, but I do keep it handy just in case. The main point in lighting on fire is the chaos. So I've been doing these like really controlled pieces. You know, sometimes I cover the entire board with these intricate shapes. But the fire was freeing, because it was like, okay, so now I have chaos. I lose control over the piece, and then I can come in and like regain control.
Catch Columbus at its creative best on Broad and High, Thursday nights at 8 o'clock on WOSU TV.
Chris Leva, playwright. For me, playwriting is about investigating one massive, essential human question by asking lots of smaller questions along the way. I love it when the director, actors, and designers have a chance to play in a world I've created and give flesh to characters I've only met in my imagination. My advice is to ask questions, constantly. Ask because you're curious. Ask even though you think you know the answer. I can have a house and a yard in Columbus and a career in the arts. It's a city grounded in family values and creative exploration, the best of both worlds. I'm Chris Leva. Playwriting is my art, and there's no place I'd rather make it.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.